And now the Hansons and Hiatus Podcast with Nate and Alexis.
Happy Friday, fuckers. It is episode 62 of the Hansons on Hiatus Podcast. I am your host, Nate, and this is my wife, Alexis.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
And don't forget to support the podcast. Buymeacoffee.com/Hansons on Hiatus. You can buy us some virtual beers, which my beer buddy, Vanessa, bought us 3 beers for the 6-year anniversary of Beer Chugs and Harmony.
That's so sweet. Thank you so much, Vanessa.
Yeah, she's great. She's a two-peer. She's a diehard. I don't know. We need some names for our listeners, I think.
Yeah, like we could be, I don't know, something with beer, obviously.
Yeah.
Or travel. We'll think about that.
Or should we just call them fuckies?
Yeah.
Remember that Tangerine Travels, travel channel we used to watch?
Tangerinis.
Yeah, the Tangerinis. Remember the fuckies?
Yeah, if you follow us, you're a fucky.
Yeah, well, thank you, Vanessa, for being a fucky. We appreciate it. And she always, shares beers with me that she's drinking and stuff, and, lets me know what's going on in ATL. So
nice.
Appreciate it.
I love all the support for your 6 years. Everybody was phenomenal.
Yeah, super nice. Yeah. It's not even just doing the videos and everything, but just doing anything for 6 years consecutively is pretty good.
Consistency is your thing.
Oh, yeah, sometimes. But as usual, follow, subscribe, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, iTunes, and Google Podcasts, Google Music. I don't know if they've switched over yet. I think it might be in June, but I'm just going to say both. So if you listen there, I think there's some changes happening. But we've had some issues today. Our water has been out.
Last couple of days, it's been in and out.
And it usually will only go out when the power is out, typically. Right. Because the way it works here is you either have like a cistern on the top of your house and, gravity brings it down. Or like our place in like an apartment building, you have like a giant one underneath the building, and then the pumps have to pump it up into the apartments. Right. So obviously, if you don't have power, you don't got water.
No pump. Yeah. No power, no pump.
But it's been very weird. We've not had water, or like the higher levels haven't had water, but then the middle levels kind of had like a trickle, and then the bottom levels seem to be okay.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm thinking, oh, like there's something wrong with the pump, but I went down and looked at these giant cistern things, and like one of them was empty. The other one was like getting half full. So we couldn't figure out what was going on. So yesterday our landlord went, and you can like pay for this giant fucking water truck to come and just like pump a bunch of water into your cistern.
Yeah.
So he did that yesterday, and then the water went out again last night at like midnight. Had to do it again. And so we're trying to figure out like what's going on. He's like saying, everybody check your place for leaks. Is your toilet running? Is your sink running? Is your, I don't know what else, showers leaking or something.
Some people have little plunge pools on the roof,
Yeah,
check your pool.
Yeah. And so he finally got the water back working today. And when we were coming back up into our building from the gym, we heard somebody's sink water just running full blast.
Yeah.
And the other thing about these systems apparently is like you can't leave it on, like leave an open faucet or whatever, because then gets to be air in the system and it fucks up the pumps or whatever. Yep. So our landlord has said over and over again, keep them closed. Keep your faucets closed, your drains, whatever. Keep it all closed.
That would be like common sense. Even if you're checking if the water is working or not, you turn it on. Nope, turn it off. You don't leave it on. I'm thinking that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You really have to tell adults to make sure your water is in the off position, not turned on.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, I guess it's probably different in the States, since there's, the water systems are different. Maybe that's what some people do. But, I mean, if you've been told multiple times, don't do that. Don't do that. So when we're coming up, we hear this water running. So we're like, knocking on the door. We're talking in the group, and we sent it to our landlord, and he apparently talked to this guy, and he went in there, and he sent us a little video, actually, and there's like a dog laying on the bed, and he goes in there. Sure enough, water's just going full fucking blast.
Yep.
And so then, whatever, I guess, he gets it shut off, and then the guy apparently was at work, comments in our building group, and says that his dog must have done it.
Yeah. Blames the dog. Are you kidding
me?
Are you kidding me?
So like our faucets, it's not like the left and right. It's one on the faucet, and you have to like pull it out and then forward or back.
Yeah.
Why would the dog be jumping up? I mean, it's a big dog. It's a husky.
It's a husky. Then they're smart. They can do things. He ain't doing that. There was stuff on the counter. He would have knocked it over. He's going for food, not to turn the water on. Unless you're not giving your dog water, then maybe he was looking for water.
I don't. Is
No.
this like, is he on America's Got Talent Pets edition or something? How would that even happen? He said he's going to put a lock on his faucet and then put a leash on his dog. No, you're making that up. You left it on, bro.
That's
I mean,
weird.
let's be real. Come on. I mean, sorry guys, my dog was making eggs Benedict this morning and left a burner on. My bad. Like
So
no.
sorry.
Was he like? You got a sous chef? Like what the fuck is going on here? No, that's not happening.
He's not doing it.
Yeah. So
Terrible lie.
our water is back. Thank God. My mom is getting in town this week. What? Oh, she was showing us pictures of, or sending us pictures of the Northern Lights.
Oh, yeah.
So like I'm super jealous because everybody up in like my home state in Iowa and probably in Ohio and all up north, even fucking Georgia, we saw some people that saw the Northern Lights. And
Lots of good pictures.
it's funny that like people kind of didn't get the solar eclipse. They're like, I don't know what the big deal is, but everybody's posting the Northern Lights. So I don't know why people are more interested in that. That happens every fucking day, or not every day, but it's not rare up north. Like I don't know, you see like Iceland or something like that, or I mean even in Canada, I think
Alaska?
Alaska, for sure.
That's where you go for it.
But then I saw that you could see them in Australia.
Oh.
And it's called the Southern Lights. Have you ever heard of the Southern Lights?
No. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah,
But-
it's also what they call people from Alabama.
That's dad. That's a dad joke.
Yeah. Well, but I've never heard of the Southern Lights.
No.
And the only thing I can think of is there's not as many countries or people living as close to the southern, not equator. What the fuck am I talking about? South Pole.
Oh.
Yeah, the South Pole. But I was reading like normally you can only see them in like Tanzania or something. But now since the solar storms were pushing all the Northern Lights around, so I guess you could see them in Australia.
That's
Or
crazy.
the Southern Lights. Pardon me.
Yeah. Huh. Never heard of that.
No.
Learn
Yeah.
something new every day.
Yeah.
Oh, we know.
Yeah. So I'm a little jealous. So thank you for sharing your pics. Super cool.
Yeah, we love that kind of stuff. We kind of got a little kickback. I don't know what you want to say about our trip for the solar eclipse.
Oh yeah. Like why would you do that? Why would you
just for
travel?
the solar eclipse? Doesn't this happen all the time? Number one, get your facts straight. It was a total solar eclipse, and they only happen so often every how many years. Yeah, it's a big deal. It's not just like a normal eclipse or whatever.
And they happen every few years around the world.
Yeah.
But at least in the United States, we're not going to see another one for like 30 years or something like that.
Right.
So it is rare, at least in our area, where I think next year you got to go to like Portugal or something or Spain to go see it.
Let's do it.
So here we go. I mean, that might be a little weird, but like the guy we were talking about, the guy in the news, he was like, go somewhere that you're going to enjoy going to. So even if you don't see them, like if it's cloudy, it's a good trip, So I'd go to Spain or Portugal. That'd be fun.
That would be awesome. I would totally do that.
But then this past weekend was Mother's Day. And how do you feel about saying Happy Mother's Day? Do you say it to everyone that is a mother or only your mother?
Usually I say it to the people I know that are a mother, like my girlfriends that have kids. I message them, Happy Mother's Day. They're moms. I say it to my, Happy Mother's Day to my mother and all the mothers out there. That's usually what I do. If I, we said Happy Mother's Day to like Nikki Dean, all our friend Lindsay.
I've started to do that because I feel like everybody does that now, but I always felt like it was, you just said it to your mother.
Yeah.
Like I even felt weird when I was a kid saying it to my grandmother. I know she is a mother, but that's not my job. That's my mom's job to say Happy Mother's Day to her.
Well.
Why aren't these people's kids saying Happy Mother's Day? Why am I telling my neighbor Happy Mother's Day?
Right.
Congratulations, you got knocked up.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
I think it's just a nice thing to do. You're like, Happy Mother's
Yeah, I
Day.
know.
It's so cute.
But I guess Jorge's mom, our friend Jorge, his mom, that I think is she in Cancun or Merida?
Merida.
Yeah, I think she's around. Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But I guess I ratted her out. I got in trouble.
Oh, what'd you do?
Yeah. Marlos told
Poor
me
little mommy.
that so she told her other two sons, like Jorge lives here, obviously. Her other two sons, I think, are in Cancun.
Yeah.
She told them that I don't know, like she wasn't doing anything for Mother's Day or something. And Jorge had her down for his birthday because he just had his, I don't know, was it 50 something, 52?
40. I thought it was 40 something.
47?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
40,
47, 48, something like that.
Yeah.
But so we were all taking pictures. It's his birthday. His mom was there. We had the music and the cake at the restaurant. We went to El Fogon.
So fun. So good.
And so I posted them all online, and then I tagged her in them because I'm friends with his mom, and she loves to take photos. She's like a little nugget. She's so cute. She's like, I mean, he has to be like part Mayan or something, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
Tiny
she looks
little
like
lady.
yeah.
She's so pretty.
And she, I guess, was like the other brothers found out that she was in Playa for Mother's Day and his birthday, and she didn't tell him. She's like, how would they know? And so Mary Lou had explained, well, since, he posted pictures and tagged you in them, then anybody that you're friends with could see those photos. So
she was like, oh,
yeah,
Nate.
I know. So I felt bad. So she didn't say anything to me, but I felt bad. That
I think she probably scolded Jorge, but then it wasn't him, it was you. And she was like, oh, I love Nate. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, and she doesn't speak any English, so she might have yelled at me and I wouldn't even have known.
No, she was laughing. She loves both of us.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
I love her so much.
But then let's see, what else did we do? What were we in Cozumel for?
The charity.
The charity, one of the charity events, and then two of the donors that always come down, Jill and Kevin from Wisconsin.
Yes,
I believe they're Wisconsin.
Yeah.
They came down, so our friend Wanda wanted to do like a big brunch thing over in Cozumel, so we went over there, and we had two other friends that we know from our Hilton days.
Yes.
When we used to come for our honeymoon and anniversaries and stuff. And I don't remember if we met them on our honeymoon or if we met them on our anniversary.
I think it was the first
anniversary.
anniversary. I don't think it was the honeymoon.
I think
we
you're
would have
right.
we were kind of by ourselves.
True.
The other one, we were like, all right, we're ready to talk to some people, ready to mingle.
Yeah. So like this, so it must have been our first anniversary. We were staying in this room and we go out on our balcony, and the balcony right next to us has a giant pyramid of beer cans. And I was like, I got to be friends with this guy.
Yeah.
So Brendan and Sharon are their names, and they're from Connecticut. And we see them when we were coming for our anniversary, because we came for 1, 2, 3, and 4, same hotel. We would always, be around the same time because they were going down for their anniversary in September. So we would see them. Yeah, we'd see them every year. It was really fun. And then when we moved here, then they would, obviously still come down. So we got to get together with them. And so they're down here now. I'm not really sure why they're here in May.
They had like a trip. Something happened last year where their trip got moved. Something with weather or whatever. So I think they pushed it back to them. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
or maybe that was last year.
So we brought them over to the brunch over there. So that was fun. And they're great people because they're those types of, I hate the friends that you like bring to a group that aren't from that group, and you have to like kind of babysit them and be like, hey, like, oh, this person knows about this. You like sports too. They're the type of people that you can they can hold their own and like have conversations with people. You don't have to babysit.
They made friends with everybody. We knew they'd get along with all that with that group.
Yeah. And then we what did we do? After we did that, we went over to the torta place. And for some reason, the table bought one of these giant margaritas. Like a fishbowl sized margarita.
We were swimming. I did not condone this.
Yeah.
I don't know whose idea it was.
And my friend Mary Lou, or our friend Mary Lou, she's a big beer person, same as me. She loves Victoria. That's what I drink too because of her. And she was going in on this margarita.
Yeah.
And the next thing I remember, I went swimming. I come back and she's sitting there at the table, and her face is just like all squishy.
It was too much.
Yeah, I was like, oh, she is drunk. Yeah. And look back again, 2 minutes later, she's laying on the beach, just passed the fuck out. And our friend Wanda was like picking sand out of her face and stuff. I felt so bad for her. But I don't blame her. I blame those fucking margaritas.
Yeah.
Because the same thing happened to us when we went snorkeling. I don't think you were there, but when we went snorkeling with them, me and Mary Lou drank all the beer, and they had these margaritas that they were making. But I believe they call it matarata, which is Spanish for rat poison, I guess.
Oh, like the shitty vodka.
Yeah, so it's like
liquor.
Shitty, liquor. And it's the stuff that they'll do at all inclusive, like shitty all inclusive. So it's just that like no name bottle of like tequila or vodka or whatever. So it seemed very similar to that, because when we did this snorkeling, we blacked out. I lost my cousin. The next thing I remember, I was on the ferry and I couldn't find him. Then he was on the same ferry.
Oh, that was that day.
Yeah. Then we found each other. And then one of the friends at Jorge's birthday was talking about how they'd like feed us water and stuff because we were so fucked up. It was like we got roofied. It was bad.
She took care of you. She's every time I see her, and I can't remember her name.
Yeah. And then I found my cousin on the boat.
Yeah.
And then I lost him again.
Yeah,
So-
you guys are both texting me. We got off the ferry and now I lost Nate. Now I lost Dustin. I was like, oh, you guys know where we live. Meet back here.
Yeah. Well, I did. I was hoping he did too, but I think his phone died or my phone died or something. So
Both phones.
yeah. But anyway, long story long, the liquor was just not good.
Yeah, she definitely had the spins. I think it was just too much too fast, and everybody was like sharing, and it was too much.
Yeah. So
Take a little
no
nap.
more margaritas.
No more margaritas. Stick to beer,
Yes.
girl. Stick to beer.
And then we went to this other bar called No Name Bar. And when we were in the pool, this little kid kept on coming up to our friend Wanda, who works for the charity and it's her charity,
Yeah.
and works with children and everything.
Kids love her.
Kids love her, and he just like was playing with him, and the parents, and they're all Mexican, so they were speaking with them back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, they said that he has like I don't know, I don't want to say Downs, but like some kind of like learning disability. Like, I mean, he
Yeah.
was, barely spoke or anything. And they're like, we've never seen him play with anyone. He doesn't really talk.
Yeah, he
And-
doesn't go up to strangers.
and
he
she
doesn't
was
like people.
playing with him. And so we're like, oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
And then later she comes over and said, yeah, he was grabbing me.
Yeah.
And so like he was trying to grab her. And I don't know. How old do you think this kid was?
Maybe like 5, 6.
Yeah.
I don't know. Little.
Yeah, so he's like grabbing her
Okay.
boobs and grabbing her butt, and then also our friend Tiffany grabbing her boobs and her butt.
Yes. And it wasn't always so much a grab. It was like I saw him do it to their butts. He was like, bap, bap. Like he tapped
just
their
give him a little
sides.
tap it, tap it.
Yeah, little taps
Little
on
tap,
the
tap,
sides.
tap-a-roo.
And Tiffany was like, what the? But he wasn't like grabbing some, meat. He was just like beep beep.
Yeah. And so our friend Tiffany went and complained to the parents, who probably didn't understand her,
No, because they
that-
only spoke Spanish.
that he's grabbing me inappropriately and you need to do something about it or
You
whatever.
should probably talk to him about that. And they're like, well,
Which, I don't know how I feel about this, because it was a little embarrassing, I feel like, just because, he has,
he has
disability,
special needs.
yeah.
Yeah, he has disability.
yeah.
He-
Is that even the right word anymore? I don't want to say that if that's not right.
I mean, they
Yeah.
point blank said he has a disability,
Okay.
so he doesn't like strangers. He doesn't talk to like strangers, anything like that. So they were so happy that he was happy.
Yeah.
And then he got a little handsy.
But what do you do? Do you just play it off because they are not only a child, but they also have, a learning disability? Or do you say something to teach the parents who may not realize that their kid is doing this and they need to figure out a way to like teach him how to not do that?
Right. I mean, they're going to have to teach him that at some point, but it sounds like they're kind of struggling already. So I would let it go. It's little kids that are perfectly fine do the same thing,
Yeah.
They know like boobs are like food.
But
and
you would
my
probably
mom-
say something, wouldn't you?
I'd probably just be like, no,
Yeah.
no.
But don't you get annoyed when you're like in the pool or something and there's like a kid coming and just splashing you and splashing you,
Sure.
and you're like, all right, where the fuck are the parents at this
Yeah.
point?
I talk to the kids. I tell them, no, don't do that. I
Yeah,
look right
and then
at
they
them.
keep doing it. But it's like, so yeah, I don't know. I would say maybe say something, but it's also the delivery.
Yeah.
Exactly. How you would say it to them. Like,
Yeah.
hey, just wanted to let you know, not like you need to tell your kids what to do.
You need
like
to
that.
tell them to not be so grabby. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was weird.
It was very weird. It was a weird pool day. And we were all drunk too. Why are we playing with a kid in the pool regardless? I don't care who
Yeah.
he is, what he is, whatever. Get away.
All right, now let's talk about the top 3 weirdest things that we saw this week.
Okay, I'm
All
so
right.
excited.
Number 1, blueberries. Do you know what they look like on the inside? Because they are not blue.
Well, not all of them.
No, but we had no idea. We were up at the pool, and our friend Shelly was like, have you guys ever looked at the inside of a blueberry? Did you know it is not blue? And I was like, that's not true. Like, you squish a blueberry, you get all the juice on it
Yep.
and everything, and like the purple
Blue,
juice and
purpley
everything.
blue.
Sure enough, we cut it in fucking half. Looks like a grape. I was 40 years old when I figured that out. And I guess it kind of makes sense, though, because you don't normally cut a blueberry in half.
Yeah, you kind of just pop them or put them on things and, yogurt or cereal.
Yeah, you
and
eat them
just
by
eat
the
it.
handful. You're not like cutting a pea.
Yes, I had no idea that some blueberries were not blue inside. You would think that would just be all blueberries.
Yeah, no clue. Number 2, we saw a nun at the beach, and she is either drinking a Dos Equis or some tequila. I don't know what it is, but she definitely had a beer can that was green in front of her.
We were shocked to see her there regardless at the, the torta place. And then she's cracking a beer. We're like, okay, get it, girl.
Yeah, and she's in on her full get up,
Yep.
and she's just sitting there.
Church was across the street.
Yeah, it was like Sister
Mary?
Rosa.
Maria?
Yeah.
Sister Maria?
Sister Maria, would you like a lime?
Yes. Lemon.
Oh, shoot. And number 3, leprechauns are out all times of the year now. We were
Not
at
just March.
No, we were at a bar, and all of a sudden I see this little green hat just come in. I couldn't see all of him, and it just bellies up to the bar.
Yeah.
There's a little fucking leprechaun, Mexican leprechaun.
Oh my
A
God.
Mexican.
Mexican. My brother almost had a heart attack. He was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, so I don't know why he was in a martini bar
No.
in Mexico in the middle of May.
Yeah.
But
Very strange.
yeah, very strange. So like Santa, they probably need to do something in the off season, and you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that was the top weirdest things that we've seen this past week or a couple weeks, I guess. It's
Because
just
there's always about 3 or 4 random things that we see. So
yes,
I like that.
exactly. And just a little update on the situation with the girl that you got in a cat fight with, and you threw her off the balcony.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding.
That I got in a fight with. She started it.
You didn't throw her off the balcony. I'm joking.
No.
But that muzzle girl that like destroyed our friend's rental place. I can't remember if we mentioned this or not, but she sent you a message like, saying, oh, so disrespected, blah, blah,
1, 2,
blah.
3, 4.
Yeah, whatever. And then you responded, but she had blocked you. So we responded from a different number so you could get your message through. So
I
she
got multiple numbers, bitch.
Yeah.
You don't even know me.
I'm everywhere.
You don't even know me. You can't block me.
Yeah. But they our friend Shelly went, and she was going to the grocery store where somebody ran into her. Yeah, and she got in like a screaming match because she blocked our friend Shelly also because she was like, hey, like you need to pay our friend for her air fryer that you
just
broke.
make it right. And it is officially broken.
Yeah,
it does
it is.
not work at all. You try to tinker around with it.
Yeah, it wasn't just cosmetic. Like it is actually broken.
It is broken. So when she said, I didn't drop it or anything, you dropped it.
Yeah,
I'm very certain.
100%.
And I don't know how you drop an air fryer.
Yeah.
Like, just keep it on the counter.
So when she was asking the muzzle for her to pay for these things, she blocked her.
Yep.
So she saw her on the way to the grocery store. She's like, why the fuck did you block me, bitch? And
Yeah.
then she's like, blah, blah, blah. Don't, my mental health, like, that's such a cop out, especially for people that actually have mental health issues, like to use that as like, oh, your mental health is upset because we called you out for, ruining some things.
Exactly. She was like, why would you block me? I'm trying to facilitate, just make this right. Like, pay her. She's like, I don't have time for this. I don't have, the energy for it. My mental health is suffering. And our friend's like, oh, okay. If you're mentally unstable right now, I don't want to like come at you like that. I'm just letting you know that it's broken and these things are still not paid for. And she flipped out about that. I guess they were going back and forth. Don't call me unstable, this and that. And Shelly's like, I didn't call you unstable. You just said your mental health. So I said, I'm so sorry that you're mentally unstable at this moment. And she was like, I did not say it like a jerk at all. She goes, I calmed down because I take mental health seriously.
Well, she actually said that she had said something about she was mentally unstable, and not like in a negative way. She was talking about herself being like, saying about her mental health. She used the word first.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
so weird. But I'm so like, go Shelly, woo! She got to yell at her for all of us, and then our neighbor saw them and had to break them up. Like, ladies, what's going on?
That's
I was
right.
like, let
I
them
forgot
go.
about that. But we did find out from our friend Shelly that she has done this before, and she was getting in. I mean, somewhat recently too. I can't remember what happened in the second instance, but the first one, she was looking at an apartment and they had told her that there was a balcony or something, and I guess there wasn't. And I'm sure she told the story differently, but basically that the landlord that was showing her the place said, get the fuck out of my property.
Yeah. Your money's no good here.
Yeah. And then he eventually had to call the police.
Yeah.
So one would think that they weren't having a cordial conversation. So this bitch has been a bitch before.
And then now that we've told our other friends this story, other ones are coming out of the woodwork saying, yeah, she was kind of rude. She did do this to my place. She did, whatever. Like, everybody's putting it together now. I'm like, great. Good to know after the fact, you
Yeah.
know? And then my bestie found we're still finding things from this girl. She opened, she's got 2 nightstands and she sleeps on one side. She didn't think to look in the other nightstand, opens the drawer. There's a whole bunch of weird jewelry that she brought down here. Not, like the
Yeah, it looked like Claire's.
cheapy Target, whatever jewelry. So she left all that. But I just want to ask this girl, what did you do up here for a month and a half? It's like chaos. I have no idea what you did. I don't know what you do in your daily life.
Yeah, so I
glad
guess
she's
she's gone. Yeah, she went back, right?
Back to Minnesota. And she's from Minnesota. Come on.
Well, I don't think she's from it. I mean, she's
Right. She
she's
grew
from
up.
there. Yeah, she
Grew up
grew
there.
up there, but I think she's from like like East Africa or
Yeah,
West
I forget
Africa
where
or
they said
something.
she's
Yeah,
from.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, bye, bitch.
Bye, bitch.
Sorry about your luck.
I'm glad she's gone.
Yeah, it sucks though, because like Chrissy still has to buy a new fucking air fryer now.
I
Because
know, and she used it once, literally once. She just bought it before she left, and I was like, oh, she's making all these nice new upgrades, the nightstands, the air fryer, different thing. Broke everything, destroyed everything. Got to
So
buy
rude.
new stuff.
The last thing I wanted to talk about was there has been a discussion in the expat groups here, which and even just calling it an expat group is another discussion because there's a big argument with expat versus immigrant and whatever. That's a whole nother discussion we'll
Right.
bring up sometime.
Another story for another time.
But this one was, and I thought was very interesting. I was just mainly reading all the comments and different people's arguments and stuff, and it's not all Mexicans or foreigners or even Hispanics or anything that think this way, but there is a couple that do not like that we call ourselves American.
Oh.
Because technically the continent is America, the Americas, North America, South America, however you want to refer to it as.
Right.
But they don't like that we call them, and they have different names for us in different countries and stuff. I can't remember what it was in French, but it's like
What's our name?
it's kind of like, in French it's like United Statesian or something, which doesn't make any fucking sense.
United States of America. We're Americans.
Yeah, so like some people are taking like, what, you're just trying to take just like Americans trying to, just like people from the U.S.
yeah.
Sorry, this is me talking. Just like people from the U.S. trying to claim everything is theirs and take over and take claim this continent belongs to everyone. We are all Americans. Which,
Okay.
yes, you have a point, but also look at the name United States of America.
Yeah.
What would you call somebody? You would call them American. Just like Mexico is not really Mexico. It's the United Mexican States is the full country name.
Right. So you call them Mexican.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Mexican. Same thing with Canadian. Same thing with the People's Republic of China. You call them Chinese. You don't call them People's Republicans.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't make sense. And I think, like I said, part of them are having the issue with they think that we're trying to take the name America from the continent. But a lot of the to me, I'm going to say Americans because we're American.
Yes.
That's the fucking name of it.
That's how I grew up. That's how I was taught. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, what do you feel about it? Like, do you think?
I can see their point
Right.
for sure. But are you really getting that mad? Like, see what's going on in the United States? Do you really want to fight us on that? Like, just, I don't know.
Yeah.
We're Americans. Just leave us alone.
Yeah.
You don't want to be part of this.
But a lot of the arguments for the for us for Americans made a lot of sense because, okay, yes, you could say that you're an American. Anybody from South America or North America or whatever could say, yes, technically you're American.
Right.
But not once has anybody from Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, Canada has ever introduced themselves to somebody in another country and said, oh, yes, I'm American.
Right.
No, nobody does that. No Mexican would tell somebody from France that they're American.
Right.
So like, why are you getting upset about a term that you don't even use yourself? If you wanted to say that and that was a thing that you normally did, who do these people think they are, trying to take the whole continent when we're all Americans and that's what we call ourselves? But you don't. You
Yes.
don't call yourself that. It's just
You
like you're
don't.
just bitching to bitch. It's like the things that we complain about in the United States, of people just complaining to complain or whatever. It's like that same thing almost.
That's one of those. It's really weird because, if we went anywhere in the world, here a lot, people see us and they know, oh, you're American? Yeah, I'm American. You're from the United States? Yeah, I'm from the United States. If I went to Europe and wasn't American and said I was American, they'd be confused,
Yeah.
or somebody, I don't know. If you go up to anyone in the world and say, I'm an American. Oh, you're from the United States. That's exactly what they would say. They wouldn't go, where in America are you from?
Yeah.
You know? I don't think.
No, I don't
wouldn't
think so either.
so.
And they do have I can't remember what the name is here. They call, it's like Estados Unidos or something.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't remember how it's pronounced, but.
So we're supposed to be like Estados Unidos?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Well, and then some guy was saying to somebody else, like, oh, well, and you should see what they call in France. And I looked, like, though the name that he gave us is like Estados, or no, it was, whatever it is, United Statesian in French.
Weird.
But this other guy goes, well, here's a news article where the president of France literally calls everyone American, or everyone in the United States American. He's after the American election, which, okay, so obviously they're talking. We all know who we're talking about when we say that. I don't know why people are getting upset. And another guy that brought up a really good point that I thought was pretty funny is he's like, the issue is that you guys think that we are trying to call ourselves the continent.
Yeah.
And no, it's just literally in the name of our country. And he's like, it's okay to call two things the same name.
Right.
There's a lot of things that have the same names in them.
Exactly.
For instance, in Mexico, there is a state called Oaxaca. And you know what the capital of Oaxaca is?
Yeah.
Oaxaca. It's the city of Oaxaca.
Yep.
And so is there a confusion there? Or if somebody from like Puerto Escondido is in the state of Oaxaca, if somebody from the city of Oaxaca called themselves Oaxacan or whatever they would call them, would they get upset because no, technically we're all Oaxacan?
Yeah.
No, you would probably know. Nobody calls themselves Oaxacan. If you're from the state, you probably say what city you're from.
Right.
And then he said the same thing in Campeche, because you know what the capital of Campeche is? Campeche. Yes. And then this other guy, the Mexican guy, goes, well, to be specific, the city is actually called San Francisco de Campeche. And
San Francisco.
Yeah. Or it's like Saint Francisco or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
And then this guy goes, that's an excellent point. So it would, if you were from San Francisco de Campeche, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah.
What would you call someone from there?
Yeah.
Campechiano or whatever,
you wouldn't say San Franciscan or whatever.
Very similar to the United States of America.
Yeah.
You would call them American.
Yeah. There's got to be like a rule, that you go by the last part of it.
Yeah. And I want to say like you go by the noun or whatever. Like the United States is like almost an adjective or a verb or whatever. I don't remember.
States that are united of America.
Yeah.
We're not your America. We're America.
Yeah. We just happen to be named that country. I mean, like that's the name of our country.
Yeah.
So it's okay to have the name of a country be the same as the continent.
Right.
Just as a city can be the same name as a state.
Right.
It's like, it's not that deep. People just get worked up over it. And most of the time I would side with something like this because, I think we all should have an identity or whatever. But let's be real. Everybody knows when you say American, what you're talking about.
Right.
But anyway, I just thought that was an interesting conversation because I never really thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
it's a different way. I mean, something's always going to bother somebody.
And like I said, most people from here weren't saying that. It's
Right.
just like the few, whiny ones that, had a problem. That's not really a problem.
And
We all know what we're talking about,
Right.
if somebody says something like that.
My 40 years of being American, I've never heard that. I've never heard someone say, you're not American.
Yeah. I can
You don't
understand the like kind of the argument, but they are not realizing we're not claiming the continent.
Yeah.
We are. That's the name of our fucking country. And some other guy was like, trying to say, well, it's just the country without a name because, America is a continent. And I was like, you can have two things with the same name.
So you don't have a name
Oh,
now?
that was the other one. This other guy was like, he was talking to, let's say this dude's name was Carlos. And he was like, okay, so your name is Carlos. There's other people named Carlos. Do you tell them to change their name because you might get confused?
Yes.
Or do you just use the context clues to know who the fuck you're talking about? You're talking about this Carlos.
Thank you, Carlos.
Yeah. Yeah. So, interesting conversation. But
yeah, we'll have to talk about the expat immigrant situation at some point.
Yeah,
too.
for sure. But other than that, I think this weekend, my mom's in town. She's just here for like 2 weeks with her friend Jackie. So we got two Jackies. How will we ever know who we're talking about?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Jackie, your mom.
Maybe
or
we
Jackie,
should call
your
her the
friend?
United States of Jackie.
That's what their apartment's going to be. The United States of Jackie over there.
Yeah. But we do have the Travesía Sagrada, which is the sacred Mayan journey, or the Mayan like the canoe thing that we went to last year. I think we posted some videos about, but we have
You're
season.
so excited.
Yeah, I am. And you get there at like 4 a.m.
Not
and you basically see these people. And I tried to be part of this.
You did. You tried very, very hard.
I applied. I emailed a couple times because to be one of the canoers that canoe from, not Playa del Carmen. It's just south of Playa del Carmen. It's at the Xcaret Park. To Cozumel for this sacred Mayan journey, I wanted to be one of the canoers, and you practice for like 6 months, and I'm like, fuck, baby, I'm here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get in shape. It's like training for a marathon.
Yeah.
And they never messaged me back.
I think if you would have sent a picture of him, they would have been like, he's got some nice big beefy shoulders. We should take him. He'd be good at canoeing.
My downfall is I did put I am American in the email. So
oh, damn
motherfuckers.
They were like, nope.
Bye. Shoot. Well, anyway, so we'll have some stories about that next week, I'm sure.
We're going to have a lot of fun this weekend, so more stories.
Again, buymeacoffee.com/Hansons on hiatus if you'd like to support the podcast. Thank you to Vanessa, who donated 3 beers for the 6-year anniversary of Beer Chugs and Harmony.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you so
it. And as usual, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, Google Podcast-ish or Google Music, Instagram at Hansons on hiatus. We really appreciate, tell your friends, tell your family, tell a stranger.
Tell everyone, share it.
Yep.
You might like this. Share it, follow, all the things.
Yes. But hope you have a great, safe rest of your weekend. Happy Friday, fuckers.
Happy Friday, fuckers.
That's it. Thanks for listening. Goodbye for now. Bye.